Once again, we're staying in our 00 ground floor plan.dwg file. And what we're going to take a look at now are named views in AutoCAD. Now, this particular drawing, the floor plan isn't actually that big. It's approximately 30 meters by 30 meters, give or take. But if you've got a really large drawing that you're working on, a massive floor plan, let's say a stately home or a factory, for example, there are going to be areas that you need to go to in that drawing regularly to work on certain things. So what you can do is you can generate what they call named views. Now, these named views are incredibly useful to allow you to navigate your AutoCAD drawings. Now, to create a named view in a drawing, there are two ways you can do it. If you're using an older version of AutoCAD, you can go to where it says top here on the view controls. Click on the word top and you'll see the view manager here. So click on view manager and it will open up the View Manager dialog box, and you can then click on New here to create a new named view. I'll click on Cancel there for the moment. Later versions of AutoCAD, there's a slightly quicker way, easier way of doing it. You go up to the View tab on the ribbon, and as you can see, you've got New View right there. If I click on View Manager, there's the View Manager, and I can click on New there, like I showed you with the view controls over here where the word top is. So the named views have their own panel on the View tab on the ribbon. They also have their own drop down. So there's all the different preset views. And you can see we've got large conference room and restrooms in the drawing already. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a different named view to get around. And then I'll show you how to get around all of the named views. So let's just hit escape a couple of times to lose that menu. And what we're going to do, we're going to create a named view of the restrooms. Now they're here. So you can see there's the toilets and the cubicles and so on. They're right there. And there's the two doors, obviously for the male and female restrooms. So zoom and pan so that you're in a suitable location in the drawing. Don't try and do this from the zoomed extents view. Get in so that you can see the boundaries of the area that you want to create a named view of. Now, regardless of which version of AutoCAD you're using, we're going to go to the View Manager. So it's Top and View Manager there. Or, if I click on Cancel, you've got View Manager here as well. Now, I could just click on New View and create a new view if I wanted to, but I'm going to click on View Manager so that I can see what my other views are. So if I expand the model views, so you'll notice you can have model views and layout views, you'll notice. So you can have these set up in either the layout tabs or the model tabs. So there's our large conference room and our restrooms there, like so. Now, you'll notice we've already got a named view called restrooms, and that's deliberate because you can select a view like so, and you can delete it from the drawing. So if I delete that now, you'll see that restrooms view has disappeared from the list. So it's very quick and easy to set up. So if I now click on New, I'll get this dialog box appear. Now I'd like you, if it pops up with the smaller version like this, to click on the little expand arrow here, the more options. And that will give you a whole load of other stuff to look at. So our view name, we'll call it restrooms again, like so. And the view category, if I click on the down arrow, you can see we've got plan views in there already. Now you can, if you've got a different category, just type it in and it will occupy in the drop-down list. But this will be a plan view. So select plan views in the list. The view type will be still. It won't be cinematic or recorded walk. Cinematic and recorded walk you tend to use for 3D visualizations. I'm going to click on still there. Now the boundary can be the current display that we've got on the screen behind the dialog boxes, or we can define the window we want. So I can click on the button there, Define Window, or I can click on this icon here, Define View Window. Either of those will work. So I'm going to click on Define View Window. And the black area there in the grey area is our view window. Now we don't want it that big. So I'm going to pick a point about there, click once, make sure you don't get any endpoints or intersection snaps. So you might want to zoom in a bit, as you can see, and I want there down to about, let's say, there. So that black area now is going to be the boundary of my name view. Notice on the dynamic input, if I just move away from that object snap, press enter to accept there, and it will take us back to the dialog box. Now, the reason I got you to expand the dialog is in the View Properties tab here, you can save a layer snapshot with the view. So whatever your layers are set to right now, it will save those settings with that view. So when you go to that named view, it will also go to those layer settings as well. It's a really good way of remembering the layer properties of that view. So you just tick that box. I'm going to click on OK now. And you'll see we've got our restrooms in the list. And you can move around this list left and right. And obviously if it gets really big, you can go up and down as well using the slider bars. So there's our restrooms view, like so. Now I'm going to apply that. And then I'm just going to click on OK. And that dialog box will disappear. We're now going to double click on the wheel of the mouse to zoom to the extents of the visible drawn objects. Now, like I said, there are two ways to get to the View Manager. There are also two ways to get to the named views. If I go to the drop-down menu here on the Named Views panel, on the View tab on the ribbon, there's Large Conference Room, Restrooms. If I click on Restrooms, it zooms me into our Named View Restrooms. If I click on the drop-down again, Large Conference Room, it pops me over to the Large Conference Room. I can then just double-click on the wheel to zoom extents again. Now, this doesn't stop you using your mouse to zoom in and out, like I've shown you previously, but the named views allow you to go to a specifically named area in your drawing. If you're using older versions of AutoCAD, you click on the top here in the view controls, and you notice there, custom model views. There's Large Conference Room. And again, Large Conference Room, click on that, custom model views, restrooms, like so. And then if you double click on the wheel again, to zoom extents, you'll notice that view control goes back to top, like so. The preset top view. So as you can see there, those named views are an incredibly useful way of getting around large area drawings when you've got lots of things going on in your model tab and your layout tabs in your AutoCAD drawings.